Welcome, guys, to my YouTube channel. Today, first of all, you guys know I've been doing a series of inspiring videos with people who have, gotten their first deal and have had success in real estate. So this is a continuation of that, okay? This is going to be a video, hopefully to inspire you, to take action, to educate you, and to let you know that you can do this. You just have to take action. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to welcome Mr. Cam, okay, who is in the process of receiving his, I believe it's his first $10,000 check that is getting wired to his account as we speak. And I only know that because I was doing a live on Instagram and Cam chimed in and said, with your inspiration, I am closing my first deal. Now, I have not worked with Cam, okay? So, you never know who you're inspiring, which is why I wanted him to come on to share his story, because now he's going to speak to someone who he's going to inspire and create his own audience of people who relate to him and know that you can do it, okay? So without further ado, Mr. Cam, who is 6'6", okay? You can't tell in that video, but he is 6'6". Okay? He is like a high tower looking over everybody. That must be a good little feeling. Okay, as long as you don't hunchback, because I notice a lot of people that are tall tend to be like a little bit.
I'm trying to work on fixing my posture. So
work that out,
I
bro.
have a long torso.
Yeah, so just stand up straight. Keep the shoulders back. No matter how tall you are, it's all good in the hood. All right. So with that said, where are you from, Mr. Cam?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
All right. Missouri in the house. And you, so personal training, you do personal training. Is that your primary, entrepreneurial business?
At first it was, but eventually I did get into the real estate thing. Therefore I can fund like having a building for clients to come through for me to train. Right now we just use like public gyms, but most of my clients they want to come, and do one-on-one training with me. So I know I had to get a bigger scale of income in order to, acquire property to open my gym.
That's awesome. And that's what I tell people. I say, everyone has a different reason why they start real estate or wholesaling. Okay. Some people want to get capital to start another business and then still stay in real estate. But real estate allows you to gain capital to, build up something that you're more passionate about. Because at the end of the day, not everybody is passionate about real estate. Okay. They're passionate about what the ability of the capability that it has to provide a freedom. Okay. So, and again, you don't have to be passionate about real estate, man. You just have to take action. It's like, not everybody likes going to the gym. Okay. They go because they want to look on point, So, all right. So now, how long ago did you start your real estate wholesaling journey?
So it's been about exactly a year and a half. I first started, I was on YouTube and I saw a Breakfast Club interview with, I believe the guy named is Mark Whitten. And
yes.
The way he was explaining it, I didn't exactly understand how it worked. Because actually, little did I know, months before that, I was in a car with my brother and some of his business partners. And I had just hopped in the car with them. They were riding around looking at houses. I'm like, why are you guys just riding around looking at houses? Like, what are you? He said, he mentioned the term wholesaling, but I didn't really catch on to it. But apparently they were driving for dollars. And of course I never even knew what that was, but come to find out that's what they were doing. So fast forward after that, I saw the Breakfast Club interview and then I came across a lady named Jennifer West. And I saw, I sometimes I like a woman's perspective of things, and you were more down to earth about it, and it gave me a better understanding about it. So after that, I kind of started to network with people in the neighborhood, and just learn more about it. And yeah, so from there, I started to drive for dollars. I wasn't really paying for leads. Actually, this is my second deal. My first deal, I made $2,500, and that deal came from Zillow for sale by owner.
Nice.
It was a free lead, and what made it even better was the deal was already discounted to where I didn't have to really do a whole lot of negotiating. So on that deal, I made $2,500. Took about 2 months to close that, and then yeah. So since then, I've just been kind of cold calling lists that I've gotten, and yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I love when I hear that people getting deals from for sale by owner, because people don't realize that that is still a very good lead source. You just have to make sure you're consistent with looking at it. Okay. Because it's not going to be a deal on it every day. You just have to be consistent. So that's awesome. Now, where did you get deal number 2 from? Was it a bandit sign? Was it for sale by owner?
Okay, so this deal has been this deal has been a crazy journey. Like, so this deal has been under contract for about 2 months. I was cold calling one of my lists. I had a list of absentee owners of 1,300 people. I was in between 200 or 300 calling people, and I was leaving messages, and I just said something just clicked in my mind. I said, you know what, I want to call a for sale by owner or make me move on Zillow, because I wanted to just call someone that had a little bit of motivation behind it. And so I went on there, and the guy had the home listed for $35,000, and the ARV was a little over 100. I'm like,
wow,
this is too good to be true. Like, so I just called the guy. He's like, yeah, I'm out of state, in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. My daughter used to live in a house. We own it outright, and I'm just trying to get rid of it. We want this amount. And I'm like, okay, so let's put it on contract. So that came from Zillow.
Let's rewind for a second. So it was an absentee lead from an absentee lead list, okay? Which that's actually good. You know, I always tell my newbies that I'm not a big fan of absentee homeowner lists, simply because I feel like it's, you know, when your budget is tight, they don't really necessarily have motivation. You know, they just don't live in the house, but you could get lucky, okay? So the second thing that you said is that they owned it outright. So for those of you that, you know, you're new to wholesaling, if a person owns it outright, that basically means that it's free and clear with no mortgage. So that means that anything that you offer them, they're going to bank, okay? Of course, they're going to have to pay, you know, the government, okay? Capital gains, tax, whatever, okay? But they're just going to bank it. So, you know, ARV was around 100. So let's just say if they had a mortgage and it was like around $90,000, that would not equate to a standard wholesale deal. Okay, that would equate to something potentially more creative, like a lease option, owner financing, blah blah blah. Okay, so all right, so that's awesome. So now so he had it for sale for 35, and you got it under contract for how much?
Well, I had it under contract I tried to negotiate it lower, and they just coincidentally, that's just how much they wanted. They wanted 35,000. I didn't really have a problem with it. I spoke to some of my partners about it, and they just said they didn't see why not. So I put it on contract for that price. And originally, I had an asking price of 50, and I had a guy about to purchase it, but the lender didn't like it. He was going to buy it for 50, which would have made me 15. And the lender didn't like it, so.
Oh wait, rewind. So what is the condition of first of all, this property has been vacant for how long?
About 4 or 5 months.
Okay, so not that long. And what is the condition of the property?
It did have mold, a little mold in it, just because it was getting moisture in it, and it's like a lot of trees around it. It did need a roof, a little paint update. Besides that, it wasn't trash, but the owners did leave their belongings behind. So it needed to be cleaned out, paint, yard work, and just mold remediation, and that's really about it. So
you did your homework, bro. I know. You know how I know you did your homework? Because you said mold remediation. Not everybody knows that, so you must have done your homework to find out, correct?
Yeah.
Because that's exactly right. That's not a contractor's gig. That's a special person who does mold remediation, man. They come in there with this whole looking like a spacesuit, okay? Trying to take all that out. So, all right, so you did your homework. I like that. So now you get it under contract for 35, okay? And now, do you already have a buyer in mind for this? Or you had to market?
I sent it out to my the buyers that I had personal relationships with first, like through a text, I have about 5 or 10 of those. I don't have a huge buyers list yet. I haven't been doing it long enough to have a huge buyers list.
You know what? Cam, I'm going to tell you that you could have a huge buyers list, okay? And I'm going to tell you there's only going to be a handful that are going to be your constant buyers, okay? So the ones that you have the relationship, definitely keep that going. And then, of course, as you get more deals and you start marketing, you're going to add to that buyers list. So all good. So I interrupted you, but go ahead. So you marketed, you sent them texts, and what happened?
I sent them texts, and some came to look at it. I did their appointments one by one, and some even came to look at it on a lockbox. But from experience, I've learned to always go to the appointment with them. And after that, some liked it, some didn't. The biggest concern was the mold.
Right.
I mean, this has been an extremely frustrating process, but so what I actually did was a strategy I learned from a podcast, Wholesaling Inc., was to do an open house and have all the buyers come at once. When I did that, I was getting
a sense of urgency. It creates a sense of urgency and competition. And that's something I learned too in my career, because I would baby my buyers, okay, and send them emails directly. Now, I don't care if you have one buyer or 20, you're going to make believe that you're sending it to a huge list. You're going to blind and say, hi guys, great cash deal, blah, blah, blah. And it creates a sense of urgency. That's imperative, because then it's competition and it's people, especially when you're dealing with dudes and they're like, I want to win this property. So, okay. I just wanted to interject to let people understand the mindset as to why it's good to show it to people all at once. Go ahead.
And also another thing I learned and that I started doing was I don't know what you think about this, and I do want to know your opinion on it, but a lot of times I let the buyers run their own numbers. I mean, I don't really give them an exact repair cost on ARV. Because then after that, you just start a bidding war, and I'm just like, look, this is my asking price as is. Everything else is your due diligence. I mean,
Yes, and I'm going to tell you, yes, yes, and yes, and yes. Because one of the things that I tell my people, okay, and what I've learned through experience is to know your buyer. And every buyer is going to have a different exit strategy for that property. Therefore, every buyer is going to have a different repair cost, okay? And they're going to place a different value. If you're stamping that ARV on it, then you could be underplaying what they see for themselves. So definitely let them, because listen, when they're bidding on properties like off the MLS or on auction.com, they're not giving them no ARV. You know what I'm saying? They're saying, as is, do your due diligence, $10,000 non-refundable deposit, bring it on. Boom.
Right.
Now, we're babying these people, okay?
They know that. They know it.
Okay, so it's like, do your own due diligence, bro. If you're not, especially in the wholesaling game, if you're not dealing with a seasoned buyer, unfortunately, that's not really the buyer for you, simply because we're trying to sell a contract fast. And the seasoned guys know, what the hell they're doing, number-wise, okay? So I definitely agree with that. Know your buyer. Do not provide an ARV. Let them do their own due diligence, because like they could, just speaking on that, I did an interview with someone else, and he thought his ARV was $120, and he sold it for $120, okay? And he had like a 40K spread when he thought he only had like a 10K spread. So that is a great point. And know your buyer. No, continue to not give them the ARV. Let them do their own due diligence. You could give them a repair. You could give them.
What was the last thing you said?
You could give them an approximate repair number, okay? Right. Approximate repair to let them know that it has, a little bit of mold, blah, blah, blah. But just to speak on the mold, okay? When someone hears mold, they're automatically, us as investors, we want to dig into that price, okay? Because people are afraid of mold. But when you as a wholesaler are selling it to an investor, it is in your best interest to bring a mold remediation person there and get a price. Because mold could be taken care of just like anything else, and it's all about the numbers. And it's usually not as bad as what people make it out to be. They're just, like, they hear a foundation issue, no, not for me. They hear a mold issue, out, you know what I mean? Like, skid marks. But it's all numbers, man, and it can be taken care of. So, yes, I agree with you, and not great strategy.
Yeah, and another thing I learned was, which was also frustrating, but a learning experience was to never, ever show a buyer the house more than once, because number one, they're just going to bring different people by and get different opinions, and number two, when they come back, they're going to say, "Oh, it's worse than I thought it was," and it's like that's going to cost them to lower the price from what they originally offered. And I actually had that happen from 2 buyers.
And that's a strategy that they're using. Okay, but they have to understand that we're wholesalers. We're in the game of negotiation. Okay, we know what we're doing. Okay, so you either buy it as is or selling it to another buyer. Because listen, you're gonna know once you get more involved in this business, Cam, that buyers are a dime a dozen. Okay, buyers are a dime a dozen. So when one buyer passes it up, there are gonna be 10 more, especially in this climate when inventory's tight. Okay, and I don't know if your market is a tight market, but I'm pretty sure it is because we're at the height of the market and inventory is slim right now.
Yeah.
Okay, there's always another buyer. So if they start playing games, and you know the numbers and you know that it's going to work, then you have to be firm. Okay, and another thing I want to mention, speaking about knowing your buyer, is that wholesaling is still a very underground strategy. Okay, however, meaning that still a lot of people don't know about it. So your best buyer is the traditional buyer, okay? Who's going to pay you a premium. We're talking about the guys that don't know how to feed themselves, okay? They rely heavily on the MLS. They rely heavily on auction.com and someone else to give them the property. They don't know how to wholesale, okay? They're going to pay you a premium. And you can find these cash buyers on the MLS by filtering it, cash sold. Right. With certain keywords, and you can see what they purchased. Your buyer that you really don't want, that this is like your last resort buyer, is the buyer that wholesales as well. Okay, like they have an acquisition team, they wholesale because they're gonna squeeze you so tight, bro, and all the profit you earned, okay, they're gonna suck it away from you just because they're in the business, they feel like blah blah blah, but at the end of the day, you're giving them this deal. So they should recognize that. They are going to try to squeeze you, okay, because they're in the business. The guys that, like I said, who don't know how to feed themselves are going to be the ones that pay you the premium. These are your premium buyers who you want to focus on and build your list, okay? Not the guys who are out there acquiring properties with wholesaling, we buy houses and acquiring deals. You're not going to get paid. You're not going to get your premium fee.
Is that what daisy chain, like, what is it when the wholesaler takes your deal and tries to flip it to their buyer for a higher price than what you're asking?
Well, that is like a daisy chain, but it could be if you split the original fee, then it's a joint venture co-wholesale deal.
Right.
Okay, but if there are several different people in the middle, then that's a daisy chain. Okay, yeah. This person, then this person, then this person, and especially on a single family residential. No, thank you. Okay, co-wholesale, yes. Daisy chain with so many pans in the pot, no, that's a waste of your time. If you can't sell the deal on your own, then it's a crappy deal.
Yeah, I've had that happen. I've had a buyer come by and she'll see it once and then she'll be like, "Oh, I want to come by and show my partner." I'm like, "Well, are you the one buying it, paying cash, or?" It just raised a lot of red flags. So now, I'm glad I kind of experienced that because now I know what to look out.
Exactly. And you know what? If you get a sense that they are another wholesaler, be straight up and ask them, because then it becomes very messy down the road when you don't know what the hell is going on. And that's very frustrating. I get it as wholesalers when we are dealing with sellers, you're not really saying you're wholesaling. Okay. And I did in the beginning because I'm honest to a fault. But when you tell a seller who's a regular plain seller, they have no idea what the hell wholesaling is. Okay. It opens up a whole can of worms. So that's why we just say we're a cash buyer because it just keeps it simple. But when you're dealing with other people in the business, they need to be transparent because that deal is going to get messy. Okay. And it's your reputation because you're the one that's dealing with the seller. So make sure you're transparent. But listen, I have no problem co-wholesaling, but let me know what the deal is right out of the gate. Okay? Right. Call it a day. But go ahead.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. But yeah, so, and there's a website called Wholesale Hub. It's kind of similar to Craigslist, but it's specifically for wholesaling and something that cash buyers go to find deals.
That's cool.
So
Is that national? I've never heard of that. Is that national, like all over?
I'm not sure. You can Google it, and it's pretty big. I'm not sure if it's just for.
All right, that's cool.
So Wholesale Hub, Craigslist, and I use MailChimp to blast out an email. But my number one tool, which is always my number one tool, was social media, Facebook, which is a completely free way of marketing my deal in a wholesaling group. So I marketed the deal in the wholesale group. I got some messages from that. Then that's when I had the open house. I created a flyer. Had about 10 people come out that I never even met before, which was all buyers, and they're making offers. And on my flyer, I said, "Please, no lowball offers." And I mean,
social media is
I saw a big difference in when I said that versus me just with an asking price. And yeah, so after that, it was frustrating because, and this is how you know when you're dealing with a serious buyer or not. Like when the buyers came out and they saw what was wrong with the home, you had some that were just complaining about it and just going on and on about what it's going to cost. And then you had some that's like, "Oh, it's going to cost this. Okay, I can get it done. This is my offer."
100%.
Like, well, that's what as is means. It's like, and I'm looking at, I'm like, there's nothing I can do. This house is being sold as is. I mean, there's going to be repaired in an investment property. That's what it's for. So, but yeah, I mean, it's humbling experience.
It definitely is. And and again, you're starting to see the difference between the serious buyers and what we call in the business the tire kickers. You know, just like tire kickers, meaning that they just come, they complain, they waste your time, but they never pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? The seasoned guys want the deal because this is what they do full time. They want to make money, okay? So they're not there to waste your time. They want you to bring them deals, okay? So now, was that when you found your buyer?
So I had an offer from a guy. Yeah, when I had the open house, that's when I found a buyer. Two people made me an offer on the spot, and after his guy left, his partner called me like, "Yeah, we made an offer. Like, are you going to accept it?" The offer, and this is how I know they were serious. He's like, "My offer only stands for 24 hours." I'm like, "Oh, he's like serious." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take it," because I just knew like I've dealt with stuff in the past to where people would make offers and then they'll take days or weeks to text or call me back before we even have it under contract, and they won't even have a earnest money deposit versus someone who sends a deposit the same day. And so I got it under contract with them, and this is a deal. I've never done it this way, but they have it under contract with their title company, and their title company is going to wire the funds to mine, which will then the seller his and send me mine, which is still a double close, but it's with two different title companies. So, I've never done it that way, but
wait. So it's a double close?
It's a double close. Yeah,
why?
Because I have it under contract at my title company with the sellers, and the buyer has a contract at his title company.
Okay, and so why did you structure it like that?
Oh, I didn't. I mean, he just said he wanted to work with his title company. It wasn't really done on purpose, but
okay.
I mean, what do you suggest? What do you think about that? Like,
I think no.
With two different title companies?
No, because as a wholesaler, you want to remain in control of your deal. Okay. And once it goes to a different title company, it's not your people. Okay. So it's not like you could call and say, "What's up with the title? Is it clean? Are we moving along? What's going on?" Okay. So unless you have to do a double close, but you guys still would use the same title company. Well, this guy was serious at the end of the day, and he's the one paying the closing costs. If it's a double close, he's paying it. So
I'm still new to it, so I'm not really. I was always told that if something is 10 or more in an assignment to double close, but I know people who's assigned 20, 30 deals. Dude, so it's just like, I remember you saying that too in the video.
That's such old information. When I first started too, that was very big. Okay. And that was because when I first started, it was like the crash, 2009, 2010. There were a lot of short sales, a lot of REO flips. Okay. And with bank owned property, you cannot assign the contract. Therefore, you have to do a double close. So the bank doesn't see it's changing hands, okay? You could do the 2 LLCs and then transfer the rights to the second LLC. So the bank still doesn't see it. However, when you're dealing with a private seller, okay, and you just think the buyer's gonna feel some kind of way because you're making a certain amount of money, find another buyer. Because listen, especially, in certain markets like New York, California, closing costs are very expensive. So I'm not just going to do a double close because you feel some kind of way because I'm making $40,000. Listen, if I made $40,000 because I negotiated a killer deal, but you're still going to make what you're going to make, it's not me being greedy. I'm not dipping into what I created as a deal for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're still going to make their money because I created a killer deal. Why shouldn't I get that extra cushion? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And a real investor is going to understand that. Okay. And they're going to be like, all right, he's on point. Cameron's on point. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if they're not going to take the deal because of that, they feel some kind of way. You know what you do? You say, peace out. I'm going to sell to another buyer. Buyers are a dime a dozen, bro. Okay. It's no skin off your back. Find another buyer. And I'm telling you from experience, because I used to baby people in the past. Okay. No more, bro. You're not into it, on to the next. Peace out. And that's how you have to be, because if it's a killer deal, you're going to sell it.
Yeah, I had to, like I said, it's a humbling experience, and using that term babying that you use, I also had to stop babying sellers because I wouldn't say I lost out on the deal, but I had to walk away from the deal because this was a huge deal. Like, so there was a home about over 2,000 square feet that I was sent to. One of my realtors referred it to me, and it was in South City of my hometown. And the guy's mother had moved out a few months back, and she wanted to sell it. She didn't want to make a lot of money on it, but they did have a mortgage, I believe, of $40,000. But the guy didn't want to make any money on it. It was, I wouldn't say a complete gut, but it needed outside brickwork, floor work, drywall. It needed a lot of work. It needed about, I would say, $100,000 worth of work.
And what was the value of that property, the ARV?
$300,000.
Okay, and it needed $100,000 work.
And they only wanted, I believe, 45.
Okay, that works.
So,
that's a deal.
So this is what happened. It became a bidding war to where the guy he started to trust me, and he called me and he said, okay, we can go ahead and get on the contract. These other guys came by, these two guys. I didn't really like their presence, their demeanor.
Right.
It kind of threw me off.
Work that energy. Energy is real.
Right.
Energy is real.
And he said, okay, we can get on the contract. And it was just funny because after that, he kind of stopped responding to my texts and my calls. And I called him like, what's going on? He's like, okay, I'm still waiting on the bank to get back up with me on how much the mortgage payment is, the mortgage payoff. And so I guess when they came back, because we had already agreed on the price. And so when it came back, he was like, oh, it's more than what I thought it was. I need this price. We already had it on the contract. And I just kind of walked away from it because I just didn't want to keep negotiating and bidding on the price. And I know he was going to keep going by like, oh, this is this much. No, he's offering me this. Oh, well, he offered me this. But I know that's what it was going to turn into. So I just walked away from it.
So that was with the seller that was giving you the headache?
Yes.
The seller was giving you the headache.
How would you have handled it? I mean, because with that resale value, I mean, it was a hell of a deal, but it was also a big, like a major project. Like it could be listed easily at $300,000.
What I would have done was I would have let them come back to me that last time and say, okay, but this is going to be the last time, because then, the numbers have to work. Okay. Right. Numbers have to work. And then you could say, this is how my company works. Once it's on the contract, then we're done. So that we have to agree on this price. And you have to remember that a deal is still a deal. And, as long as you're going to make money and you've closed the deal, it's experience. So I would rather you make some money and still have a little bit of the headache and the experience than completely walk away. As long as it's not affecting your reputation, okay? It's not tarnishing you, and you're still solving their problem, I would work with them and say, okay, okay, it's not working because of this price, really be authentic and understand what they're telling you, okay? And then say, all right, maybe, I'll look into that. I'll see if my numbers still make sense and I'll get back to you, but this is it. Like, this is it, and this is the price we're closing on. No more back and forth.
Yeah.
So you still stay in control, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. If you're not like firm and in control and say, okay, yeah, so we're gonna get under contract on this price and we're gonna close in 30 days. Does that work for you? Okay, we're gonna buy it as is, blah blah blah. And you keep highlighting all the things that you're doing for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like solving their problem, buying as is, paying the closing costs. Okay, so this is the price as is. This is gonna be the last time. Okay, and we spoke on creating a sense of urgency, and you said you took the buyer seriously because he said this offer is only good for 24 hours. Know that you could do that with your seller. Okay. And create a sense of urgency with the contract. Not give them necessarily 24 hours, okay? Give them more time, okay? I usually like to give them like 5 business days, okay? Especially if you're sending it electronically and the attorneys have to review it, because you don't want them sitting on that contract for 2 and 3 weeks, okay? You want to create a sense of urgency. Okay, this is the offer and it's valid till blah, 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 and then it's void. So I wanted to speak on that, but I would have continued with that buyer, and I would have just, grabbed it by the horns, control, and say, okay, this is it, and we're gonna do this and that. Is that cool? Is that cool with you? But we can't go back and forth anymore. We have to agree on a price now and call it a day.
Yeah. So yeah, the main reason why I did that was because I wanted to stop myself from being so desperate. I know when I started off, of course, you're just super thirsty to get a deal and make money.
Of course.
But I'm definitely not chasing a dollar amount. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't care about it, but I'm really into it for the experience and just to become abundant in the business. Just kind of, I've geared towards, like, when you focus on solving problems and not making money, the money's just gonna come regardless.
100%.
So I just did that to stop myself from being so desperate and just kind of.
That wasn't desperate, Cam. That wasn't desperate. Okay, you were still trying to solve their problem. Okay, their problem in their brain was that it was too high or something. The mortgage, the payoff amount was a different amount, so they wanted a little bit more. Okay, let me see if my numbers work. Okay, and if they wanted a little bit more, you don't have to exactly come to what they wanted. Okay, like say if they wanted 50 grand, then you could say, okay, we checked out my numbers. I could do 42. Okay, I could do 42. I could do a 30-day close. If the title's clean, I could close faster. If you're cool with that. Okay, you can leave anything and everything in the house. We're going to cover the closing costs, and then you'll be done with this property. Does that make sense, Sam? Does that make sense, Sam?
I'll even follow up with them and say, hey, did you get it sold? What's going on?
But, dude, you're saying...
I'll follow up, yeah.
I'm interrupting you, but I want to interrupt because you're saying so many important things. People who are watching this, there is so much money in the follow-up. Okay, follow up, especially when you're cold calling, because when you're following up, you know what? You're no longer a cold call. Okay, it's like, hi, Mr. Sam. Remember, this is Cam. I spoke to you, blah, blah, blah. How's everything going? Did you sell the house? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to remember you. And then it's like, oh, okay, the deal fell through and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so listen, I'm willing to make an offer. I'm willing to do it at this price. I'm willing to close in 30 days and blah, blah, blah. And you're solving their problem. Okay, now they're ready to pull the trigger because they were so close before and the deal died for whatever reason. And now you're striking when the iron's hot. If you don't follow up, someone else is striking that guy when the iron's hot and stealing your initial deal.
Right.
So follow up. Good point.
The power in the follow up. I learned that. I'm really just learning along the way, but I've just become more humble and learned that if I try to solve people's problems instead of trying to get something on the contract and sell it for too high, it's just not going to sell. Because I've tried that with a few properties I've started off with, and it's not going to be attractive to buyers either when they find out what you're asking for and don't leave enough meat on the bone for them to make their money too. It's not that I would try to like pamper or baby my buyers, but I want everybody to be prosperous in the deal.
Of course, you definitely don't want to be greedy. You want to create a win-win-win situation. A win for you, a win for your seller, and a win for your buyer. Okay? Because at the end of the day, this niche is a very small niche. Okay? And you're going to end up dealing with the same people over and over and over again. So, and then word of mouth is one of the best forms of advertisement. And if you worked with a seller and, you know, let's just say, you know, someone passed away and now they can't afford the mortgage, and they're like, you know, I worked with Cam and he just provided me so much service. He helped me with this. He took his time. He did his due diligence. Okay. And now she's talking to someone else and they're like, how did you get rid of your house? And they were like, you know, I worked with Cam. Okay. And word of mouth. And now they're going to use you. So that adding value and being authentic goes a long way. And this is what I tell my people is that, you know, that shark mentality, like that used car salesman feeling that, you know, people get when you really don't care and they're just trying to make $1, people pick up on that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, people do business with people they trust. And you have to understand that, you know, a house is one of, if not the biggest investment that someone will make in their lifetime. Okay? So they're going to choose the person that they vibe with and feel has their best interest, not necessarily the highest price. Okay? Because if you're not doing this already, and people who are watching, I want you guys to add value whenever possible. Okay? Add value. Be a full service person. If they need help with something, say, okay, I can help you with that. Take that burden off. Okay? Maybe it's an old couple and you're finding a storage facility for them, or you're helping someone find an assisted living. Okay? It's all, Google's your best friend, man. You have information at your fingertips. So add value whenever possible. Okay? If they say, listen, I want to close, I know you mentioned I could close in 30 days, but I need like 65, 70. Is that possible? Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you need, you know, and if you're able to close before that, then that's not a problem. Okay? We'll make it work.
I know your dog.
Yeah, because yes. I have 3.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I have 3 of them. So whatever, she was over in one of the bedrooms. But adding value is so huge. And you have to remember that these people are just human beings. Okay? They're human beings. You're trying to solve their problem. So I digressed a little bit, but let's get back to your deal. So you find a buyer, right?
Hmm.
How long did it take you to find a buyer?
About a week or two, because when I posted on Facebook and I was getting messages about it, I was showing people the house and kind of getting interest, kind of wasn't. And a week after that, like I said, when I did the open house, the guy came through. He walked through with a clipboard, wrote down the numbers. He walked outside like, "Hey, I can make you this offer." But the only thing that became frustrating that I probably won't do again, and I probably want your opinion on it, but it was an offer contingent of the mold remediation.
As a wholesaler, we're the ones that have the contingencies, okay, without seller. We're not trying to have another buyer with a contingency, okay? I mean, it's like when you have several different offers and you're sifting through which ones, you're pulling out the ones with the contingencies, okay? Because we don't have time for that. We're selling a contract, okay?
Right.
So the real serious buyers, again, the serious seasoned buyers are not going to have a contingency because they want the deal. Okay.
Bring whoever you need to bring with you. Bring all your people.
Yes.
All your contractors.
Bring them all.
This is
okay.
A one-time thing.
One and done. Okay. One and done. Because if you, like I said, if you're going to treat these people too much, it just becomes a headache for you. And that's from my own experience. Okay. Like, it's like, no. Okay. Do your own due diligence. Okay. And then get back to me. It's as is. No contingencies. Peace out. It is what it is because we're wholesalers. We're trying to sell the contract. So the last thing we want is now we're in our contingency period, and our contingency period is going to run out, and now you have a contingency, you know, and it's digging into our contract time. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm not into contingencies from a cash buyer when I'm wholesaling a deal. No, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I know now I won't be really accepting that anymore. But like I said, it's a learning experience. You know?
100%.
So this deal is supposed to, I think, August 1st or the end of this month, because I had to wait so long because there was originally there was a something going on with the, I don't know if it was the title company or the title, to where we had to wait to close on it. But I mean, I was being patient. Another thing I had to learn was not to just focus so much on one deal. I mean, it is just me doing it, and I do work. I work a job overnight, and I also have a 10-month-old at home.
Oh, congratulations! You're a new daddy. That's a big why. Okay, and being a new daddy is a big why. Leaving a legacy.
Yeah, and so with all of that, it's just me, and so at that point, I'm like, you know, I had to learn how to stop focusing so much on one deal and depending on one contract, because anything can go wrong. So I want to at least get a pipeline of 5 to 10 deals a month, and I can live off that and leave my job.
And that's how you have to be. You can't focus on one deal. Okay, you got to keep marketing, man. Listen, this business, your marketing is your oxygen. If you are not marketing, that business is dead. Okay, because you're not getting leads, you're not getting contracts, you're not getting paid. So you always have to be marketing. That is no joke.
Right.
So okay, so you're set to close in next month, in a couple of weeks.
Next month, yeah. And so after that, I don't know for sure what I'll do with. I probably won't even touch it unless I'll just use it to
market
from this source. Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
this course or bandit signs in my city. I don't know about you, but I mean, of course, we know wholesaling is growing rapidly upon like individuals like myself, but like there's like 5 or 6 bandit signs next to each other on every corner. And,
okay.
So
that's
the strategy
right.
I would probably use is maybe Facebook. I'll cold call from this source, and might do ringless voicemail.
You'll do what?
Ringless voicemail, RVM. Can you hear me?
RVM. Okay. So let me just tell you, even if there are 5, 10 bandit signs, what happened is the seller's going to call all of them. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to be the guy that sets yourself apart from all the other clowns. Okay.
Right.
Because you're going to add value. You're going to do your due diligence. You're going to solve their problem. You're really going to listen to them and say, okay, this is that, and I can help you with this. Okay. Don't just be the shark, like I said, because that's going to set yourself apart from all the other people. Just because there are 5, 10 signs, that don't let that not put your sign. Okay. Because have the mindset, because you know energy is powerful, the power of the mind. Okay. You put your bandit sign out and you say the person that needs my help is going to find me. Okay. And they're going to find me despite, all the other bandit signs. And remember that all the other wholesalers out there are not necessarily your competition. These are people that you could work co-wholesales with, and don't have a lack mentality, have an abundance mentality, and everybody could work together. Okay. So yeah, tweak out your marketing. What I recommend people to do is to diversify your marketing. Okay. Have a nice basket of like 5 things that you're doing. Do them for at least 6 to 8, 9, 10 months consistently, and then see what's giving you the best return on your investment. So if you see, okay, RVM, cold calling, bandit signs, those are the ones where I'm getting my most leads from, that's where you put most of your monies.
And I don't know why it is, but when I go to meet sellers, they build rapport and they just like me a lot. It's because like one thing I learned to do is when I cold call, I don't read from a script. I mean, I know a script.
Oh my God, you're speaking my language. I have to interrupt you again. I'm sorry. Yes, okay, because I know people hate that I say, listen, I've been in this business since 2010. I have never read from a script. I don't like it. I feel like you don't engage with the person. So, bro, you have that on your side, because I got to be honest with you. When everyone's calling and they're reading like, hi, my name is blah, 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 and and they're hearing the same thing from 10 different people, sound like robots, they're not engaging. So that's setting yourself apart. Bingo. I'm loving to hear that, bro. That's going to help you. Okay. Obviously, you could add bits and pieces from a script that helps you. Okay. Or to help you with objections. Okay. But don't read it verbatim. If anyone that's watching this and is doing a script verbatim, please, I encourage you, don't do it verbatim, man. Okay. Take each call individually and think on your toes, man. It makes you sharp. You're dealing with a human. So go ahead. Finish what you were saying. You said you don't like scripts, but.
I don't like scripts, and I mean, just to give away. I mean, I'm giving away strategy, but I don't care. I'm here to help.
You're not giving away.
When I do,
you're not giving away. Okay, you're helping, and you know what happens when you help? Okay, that's why that's why I give tons and tons of valuable free content, because when you're helping other people, it comes back to you. It's the way of the universe. Back to you in more ways than one, Cam. So listen, don't have that, oh, this is my secret, I'm not telling everyone. There are going to be people that, you know, you could bring the horse to water, but they ain't going to drink it. You're telling them the best strategy, and because it's free, some people, like, if they don't pay for it, they don't think there's value to it, okay? So they're going to be like, oh, okay, whatever. So you're giving it, the people who see the value are going to be like, oh my God, Kim, that was amazing, blah, blah, blah. And that beautiful sharing abundance is coming back to who? You, in some way, shape, or form.
Well, you know, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish, feed him for a lifetime. So,
boom. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's true. It's very, very powerful. But not everybody is going to, you know, take that lesson to learn to fish.
Right.
You see it every day. It's an employee. That's basically an employee.
Hold on again. Hold on. Give me about 10 seconds.
Okay. Yep. All right, we're back. We had a little technical difficulty. But Cam was talking about something. He was wanting to share someone with the community.
Oh, so yeah, what I was going to say was, when I make my cold calls, I do not read from a script. Although I know a script, what I do is I adjust to the seller's tone of voice. That way they know I'm authentic and I'm a real person. I'm actually trying to help them solve their problem by their problem.
What do you say? Will you call them and what?
When I cold call sellers, I don't read from a script. Although I know a script, I adjust to the seller's tone of voice. That way they know I'm authentic and I'm a real person. I'm not just trying to make money off of them.
Yes, okay? And I speak on that all the time when I talk to my people. Be authentic, because when you're on the phone, these people could feel your energy, okay? They get it. If you sound like that shark or that snake oil salesman, they're getting a bad vibe, man, and they're not going to want to do business with you. So keep it real. So those of you with scripts, we're not saying scripts work for a lot of people, okay? My point is that add your own zhuzh to it. Don't just be a robot. Don't just read it verbatim like you're reading a script, like reading a movie script, okay? And sound like a robot. So that's a really, really good point. So now, so now you're about to close your deal. Now, up to this point, what have you been doing for marketing?
For marketing, finding motivated sellers?
Yes. I know you said for sale by owners.
Mm-hmm.
Cold calling.
That's actually been my main lead source, I would say. Besides Zillow, I did skip trace a list of 1,300 people from a list I got from a website. I forgot the name of the website, but I skip traced a list of absentee owners. And I learned that I really should have diversified the list instead of just getting all of those lists of absentee owners, because really they all kind of have the same kind of motivation. It's like, I got an empty property, but I mean, they don't really want to sell it. Most of them want to keep it.
Exactly. And that's why.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why for newbies on a limited budget, I definitely do not recommend that you buy 1,000 absentees and send a direct mail to them, because listen, that's a gamble. You may not get anything from that list, okay? You're better off, and listen to Cam. His primary source of marketing are for sale by owner, okay? So when people say that, oh, I don't have money to market, blah, 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 listen, you don't need it. You don't need a ton of money. You're going to need some money if you want to do bandit signs or some other stuff. But if you just wanted to focus on for sale by owners and you are consistent with that, you could get a deal from that. So now, another thing I tell newbies is that they don't need all these fancy systems. Do you have any fancy systems right now? Or are you just like rolling, like you have a pad, you have your computer, you have your phone, and you have what? Some hustle and motivation to run your business, right? You're not like, oh, I need to get my logo. I need to get my logo on my website before I get started, right? Like people, you hear people all the time. It's like, stop with all the BS, okay? Strip all that nonsense. You don't need all that at the beginning, okay? All you just need is your phone, okay? Your pen, some hustle, okay? And just attack it, and you could get paid. So you're about to make how much money?
10,000.
Okay, that's a nice paycheck, especially in a property that the ARV is 100 grand. Okay, that's a nice spread. So, how do you feel after this? Like, do you feel like, wow,
Well,
like
it feels more authentic. It definitely feels more authentic. My first deal, I made a smaller amount, but I mean, it was a deal, but
100%, and a
when it
learning
takes,
experience.
yeah, when it takes longer to get the deal, you kind of get unmotivated. But I mean, I kind of had to find my own motivation. And another way I started to get leads was some of my realtors would send me deals before they list them and see, oh, you want to wholesale this, and just pay me some of it.
Yeah, and that's, again, relationships, people.
Right.
Build relationships, okay? That's where you're going to get probably most of your deals, from people that you have relationships with. Everybody wants to work together. Like, all right, let me check out Cam. I know Cam's going to pay me part of the deal. Let me see if he wants it first, so I don't even have to list it, okay? So relationships. And also, you just mentioned something. Okay, Cam mentioned that, he had to motivate himself. Yes, you do. As an entrepreneur, you have to do your best to keep yourself motivated. You have to be your biggest cheerleader, because there's not going to be someone on the sideline all day, every day saying, go, Cam, go. Go, Cam, go. Okay, Cam, you can do it. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to continue to motivate yourself and feed your mind with food every day to understand that you can indeed do this. Do not let the everyday monotony of society, get you out of what you want to do with your life. Okay, so you can do it, and you need to motivate yourself. So if you were to give, I lost you. If you were to give two or three tips to newbie wholesalers starting out, what would those tips be?
Hold on.
We're back.
What I wanted to ask you is, so what if the buyer comes back and says, oh, well, it makes a counter offer because of something else? Like, what do you suggest to, because that's extremely frustrating when you just waiting on closing day and the buyer comes back and say, oh, well, I can't pay this price. I mean, that's kind of.
How long, what's the time lapse
Between the offer?
Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, what's the time lapse between them asking you this? Is this like they've already signed the assignment contract?
Yes, but it was a double close, so it wasn't an assignment. It was a double close. So, between the time of them coming by and making an offer, they still, we're still in between, the repair cost of the mold. And so I just wanted to know from you, if they were to make a counter offer, how could I,
But that you're saying that they want to make a counter offer when both
I'm just
contracts
saying, what if? I'm not saying I'm just saying, what if?
if both contracts are executed already? No, that's it. That's the sale price. There's no more offering.
Right.
Okay, when you're in negotiation, then yes. But if both of the contracts are already signed and you're already deep into the deal, and now days later they want to go back on it, no.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Just wanted to know. Yeah. You can go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Absolutely not. So I wanted you to give people 2 or 3 tidbits of advice for newbie wholesalers. Like, what advice would you give them now that you've closed 2 deals?
The first thing I would tell them is to never ever stop believing in themselves, and don't listen to. I mean, this may sound harsh, but stop listening to people in your family that aren't really entrepreneurs and aren't really doing what you're doing. I would prefer you to be around other wholesalers, start to make friends with local investors, and just, network with them. And also not to be desperate and accepting the seller's first number. You never accept the first price that the seller tells you. That's something else that I learned. And
That's a good tip.
This is a self-motivating business. I mean, starting off, I mean, we listen to people like you, but it's really within ourselves. It's up to us. Because literally every day I have to motivate myself to get up and get out and go do it, because the more return we see on it, the more motivated we are. But if we're just constantly working, we're not seeing a return. I mean, this means we're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work, because people are making money from it.
100%. Both of those are great tips, because you're speaking my language, okay? Which is why you probably resonated with my channel, is that mindset is everything. That is the foundation to an abundant life with everything, okay? And the brain is like soil. If you're not nourishing and enriching and feeding the soil with good food, the plant is going to grow weeds. And that's like your brain. If you're letting society feed your brain and listening to people who work a 9-to-5 job who are like drones and zombies, okay, and they don't get what you're trying to do, you can't get advice from someone like that. You have to just continue to feed your mind with positive food for your mind, because your mind is very powerful. Your thoughts create. Your energy frequency helps you create. When you're around like-minded people on the same journey, we all feed off each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Cam, that's awesome, that's great. So how are you gonna do that? How are you gonna do this? It's not like, that's not gonna work.
The power of the tongue. Whatever you say, that's what will happen. I literally tell people that tries to work with me and people that want my help. I say, well, if you don't think you can do it, then you're right. You probably can't do it. But if you think you can do it, then you really can do it. So it's really about whatever you think. It's all about your perception. However you see it, whatever energy you put into it, that's what you're going to get back. But people don't. It's kind of hard to see that starting out. It's like, oh, I want to become an agent first. I want to become a realtor first. It's like, okay, I mean, everybody has their preference in getting into real estate. But this is my entry into it. This is not my end game. I want to end up doing. Want to acquire rental single family homes and multifamily, specifically single family for people who can't purchase a home but want to enjoy the benefits of owning a home. So I want to rent out single families for that reason. And I also want to do student housing, to where you rent out each bed. So rentals, and then I want to do hoteling. Is it hoteling? It's kind of like wholesaling, I guess, where you kind of buy the property, get it in a presentable condition, and then market it to a buyer. So it's kind of like, yes. Yep.
You have all good goals, my friend. Those are all good goals. And then plus, of course, your fitness, which is your passion. Okay? Right. So those are beautiful goals. And I always tell people, have your why, know why you're doing this, keep going. So, Sam, I want to say thank you so much for sharing your story and your experiences with everyone, because this is going to resonate with people, and they're going to see that they too can make this happen for themselves, but it's not a straight line, okay? It's very zigzag. And it's like, I tell people, entrepreneurialism, period, it's like you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. It's like you're happy, you're sad, you're happy, you're sad. Like, I'm winning, I'm failing, I'm winning, I'm failing. Is this working? What am I doing?
It's different. It's very different from going into a 9-to-5 job, because you already have it laid out what you have. Your work is cut out what you have to do. When you're trying to be your own boss, it's like, if you don't have nothing planned out, it's like you wake up, you got so much free time to yourself. You're like, oh, you procrastinate so much that you don't really find time to focus on your business. And then, bills start coming and you don't have a steady cash flow. It's like, oh, let me go back to my 9-to-5.
Right. That's why people need to know how to structure their time. Time management is very important. Okay. So that's another tip that we could give to people too. If you're not structuring your time and waking up working for yourself, but you could go to work and work for someone else, maybe you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Okay. Because if you want to wait.
If you can do it easily, you're definitely not, because I'm telling you, Jennifer, like, even when I go to my job, I have to, of course I have to work right now, because I'm not, I don't have enough time I have my child, and I still have to work. But even when I go, like, the energy there is totally different from being around people like myself. And something always just bites at me, like, this is not where I'm going to end up. And so when I know that, it become more humbling. I know it's going to be a process. It's not an overnight
Temporary.
thing.
That job is temporary, Cam, okay? And the reason why the energy doesn't match up is because people at the 9 to 5, they're no longer using their minds, okay? They're like literally zombies. You know what I'm saying? Going to work, wake up, eat breakfast, go to work, come home, eat dinner, watch TV, go to sleep. Wake up, break, go to work, eat breakfast, blah, 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 on repeat. So they're just like in zombie mode. And they no longer have dreams for themselves that maybe they had when they were younger. Okay, society like pounded on that. Now it's just like, you know, you have the Sunday blues. You're wishing your week away. You're wishing to the next vacation. It's like most people, almost 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck, because
right.
the more money that people make, the more they spend at the end of the day. Okay, so they're always living paycheck to paycheck, and it's just a sad state of affairs. Like, you're not going to relate to someone in a 9 to 5 when you're an entrepreneur. It just
my last tip would be definitely to not. I mean, you can listen to most of the mentors that you have around you, but definitely don't listen to people that tell you that wholesaling is a get rich quick overnight thing. It definitely takes time, like anything else does, and I'm learning that as well. I mean, just because you see other people doing it, I mean, you never know their journey, what took them to get there. I mean, it definitely takes time. Like, you're not gonna just wake up and deals are gonna start coming in. You're gonna have to work for it.
100%.
That's my biggest pet peeve. Like, I have people, and it's actually sad because I see people getting into it and they're motivated, but then they're seeing other people be successful. That's telling them that they can close this many deals this fast if they just, do this, but it's not. That's really not the reality of it.
It's not the reality.
You've been doing it 10 years.
Huh?
You said you've been doing it 10 years.
Yeah, it's not the reality. It took me a year to close my first deal. And that's because I was like, I was trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, blah, 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 blah.
It was your side hustle first.
Huh?
I said it started off as a side hustle, right?
Yes, 100%. Okay, and it does, but listen, it is not for the faint of heart. And if you're someone that thinks it is a get rich quick, and you're the type of person that's gonna dabble, you're just gonna like dip your toe in, then you might as well just not even dip your toe in and peace out, because it's not for you. It's not for everybody. It is work. Okay, it's work. Yeah. Okay, but it's something that will help you get to the next level. Okay, so those were your 3 tips, which were all very, very good. Now let's go to maybe 3 challenges that you had and that you were able to overcome.
Well, the first challenge I had was, of course, finding motivated sellers. Starting out with no money, not a whole lot of credit, it was hard to find sellers. And the way I got over that was driving for dollars, going out to look for sale by owner signs and getting out, talking to people. Another strategy I would use is if I seen someone with a dumpster in the driveway, maybe flipping a house, I would get out, introduce myself, tell them what I do, and tell them how I can benefit them and hand out my business card. That's the way I overcome not finding motivated sellers. Introducing myself to realtors, agents, whatever you want to call it, and investors. And then I started to get a little bit of leads from that.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. And that's good. I encourage people to be creative. Be creative. Think outside of the box, okay? Think outside of the box. So, all right. So with that said, people have short attention spans, Cam. So I've been on this with you for quite some time. So unless you have something like really powerful to tell people, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to say congratulations. We're going to say thank you for sharing your story and your journey. So do you have something else would you like to add?
I can't really think. How long have we been on here?
Probably over an hour.
Been over an hour? That fast? Oh, yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun, brother. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just tell people, control your deal, control your contract, stay in control of everything. Don't let anyone else control your deal. Your deal is your deal.
Okay, so, okay. You know what I didn't ask you? Because I didn't ask this another person I was talking to, and then he said it after we spoke, was that, are you doing any type of, visualization? Do you have maybe a vision board? Have you written a check to yourself? Have you tried to, use your mind to create what you're trying to create for yourself as far as your fitness and the wholesaling business? Like, what is going on in that mindset of yours? I know you said you understand that mindset is important, but are you implementing it in any way, shape, or form?
Well, yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts and I watch YouTube videos on people who mentor me through the internet. I became very big on perception, so I know that whatever I put out, I'll get back. So, like you said, I got some check for my company on it. I started to write out. I literally, if I wish I had it here, I can show you. Weeks before I got this deal, I wrote my name, my company, and wrote $10,000 on a check.
Okay.
So I'm just big on that. I wrote $10,000 on a check. I know I just wanted to close a deal for at least that amount of money. And after I did that, I write down everything that I want to accomplish. I list it, and I just work towards it. I'm real big on it.
That's awesome. See,
I'm a window shopper. I go out, test drive cars that I want. I look at houses that I want to live in.
Yes, bro. That is all that stuff. Visualization, what is it doing? It's raising your vibration. When you look at that check written in your business name and you see that it says $10,000 and you're like, oh my God, I really did this, and it's going into your bank account, okay? Right. Not someone else's. That's like a huge mindset shift that you have to make believe it's happened before it's happened in order to create it. And then when you really create it and you start to realize the power of your mind, you're blown away. And you'll never be the same again. And you understand that you are indeed a co-creator of your life, man. Okay? You can do this over and over and over again. But you got to keep that vibration as high as possible. You're human, so people are going to piss you off, but you have to do your best to shift back to a high vibrational frequency. Okay? And visualize the life that you see for yourself. See it, feel it, taste it. So being a window shopper is all part of that. It's building that vision in your mind, okay? And you're planting seeds, and then you're taking action, and that's where the magic happens. All right, so I'm so glad I asked you that, because you are doing that. So people, listen, get
Visionary. Visionary. I get out and I want to touch and feel things that I want, so that I know it's real. I know that I can have it. I was always told that I couldn't have it, and that it's cost too much, or this is too expensive, or I think I'm entitled to those things. Everybody. Of course
you are. Of course you are, man. The higher power wants you to be successful. The higher power wants you to be in abundance. Okay? That's why the world, I tell you to feed your mind, because if you don't feed it, society is going to feed it for you. And you're just going to become a zombie and think that you have to work paycheck to paycheck. Okay? And then your dreams, you no longer have them. So the fact that you're doing that is very, 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 very important. And then when you're going into that car and you're doing the test drive, you know what the leather smells like. So you could recall, oh my God, I'm sitting in this Lambo, okay, or Ferrari, whatever your car of choice is. I'm not a big car person, but when you open the car and you're smelling that leather and you're feeling how soft it is, and then you like feel that steering wheel.
So you a house person? What do you like as far as material? Like, you're not a material person? Like clothes, house.
I like nice things. I'm not, I don't know all these fancy sports cars that people are all into,
Like houses, or you're more into. Another thing is I got into this business so I can be able to travel at will. Like, I can wake up and be like, I want to go here, and I can go. Like, travel,
that's one of my things. That's one of my things. Okay, because my big thing was that I don't like to have a permission slip to be told, you could take vacation 2 times a week. Oh, you need to go to the doctor. Oh, I need to give you a permission slip. Oh, you take lunch at this time. Oh, Jennifer West-Granahan is only worth this amount. Okay, they're putting amount that you're worth. Okay, and it's basically a self-enslavement, self-prison. you know, being being an employee, okay? Because you're no longer letting these and it depends on what your job is, okay? But you're not really having these creative juices. You're basically just going to do your job and then going home. When you're an entrepreneur, you know you have to keep feeding it, okay? You have to keep feeding it. You have to keep being innovative. You have to keep being creative. You have to make sure you're doing your marketing. Am I going to grow and scale? How am I going to grow this? And then your business is authentic to you. Maybe it's going to take you somewhere else that you have no idea, okay? You know, especially with your fitness. Like your real estate's going to be like basically to fund things. But, you know, your passion project is your fitness. And maybe you'll do fitness like all around the world and have these mind, body, soul retreats.
Yeah, multiple locations and everything.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I had one last point, but I think I'll give it to you in your next live video. I forgot what it was, but I'll give it to you another time.
Oh, we're here now. What is it? You can't leave us like that, Cam. You know, remember, you're 25 years old and you're already having geriatric moments. You need to take some ginkgo biloba or some shark something to keep those.
What's the first thing you said? What is that?
Ginkgo biloba?
What's that, like memory?
Supplement for memory.
Oh, okay. I take supplements, but not that.
I think you need to take it. But do you think you'll remember?
What'd you say?
Will you remember to take it though?
Yeah. If it works.
You need to put a reminder in your phone. So, all right, I don't want to bore people. We're not boring people because we're having fun, okay? But you know people's attention span is so short, Cam. That's why I have my videos so short, because people like, you know, what do you tell me? What do you show me? I'm on to the next video. But I assure you that we supplied lots of nuggets in this video. And I'm going to let people know that when I post it.
I appreciate it. It's really, I still can't believe that I'm even having this conversation with this person. But yeah.
What? Oh, having a conversation? Us having a conversation?
Yeah, I was watching your YouTube video years ago about this. And now I'm talking to you about.
Now you're going to be on my channel, bro. You're going to be on my channel. You're going to be featured. Right. Mr. Cam, his second, wholesale deal, 10K wire, fitness, mind, body, soul, travel. Bro, your life is ahead of you, man. The fact that you're 25 and, you're already here in your mindset, that is a huge asset to you, because there are people who are 55, 45, 35, 65, who are not where you are in your mindset. You are ahead of the game, bro, okay? And the world is just yours, man, okay? Think of where you're going to be in like 10 years. 35, you're still a young man, okay? And it's so exciting. I'm very proud of you, and I'm very excited for your future, because people use their circumstances as a crutch. People like to play the victim. Oh, I can't. It's like, figure out how you can. Okay, figure out how you can. Stop focusing on how you can and figure out how you can, and be a problem solver, not only for other people as a wholesaler, but in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because life is not a straight line. It's not a straight line. That's like that saying, smooth seas never created a good sailor. Okay? Because they don't know how to handle bumps in the road. You're in your wholesaling business, you've already handled a couple of bumps, man. That's going to make you stronger for the next deals. Okay? So, bro, you're inspiring someone. You're inspiring me. I'm super duper proud of you. Okay? And excited for you. And I can't wait to hear updates too, man. So definitely don't be a stranger. Actually,
Can't wait to meet you guys. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Cam said it's a pleasure to meet the Jennifer West-Granahan family. That's what he just said, and I spoke over him. But I wanted to ask you, Cam, what was the car that you test drove? So maybe in like 3 to 5 years from now, we'll come back on and you'll be talking to me from that car.
It was a Mercedes AMG GT.
Ooh,
Mercedes.
Okay.
It was a 2-door.
That car's nice. Was the convertible?
I think that's the SL. I test drove the SL too, but that and the Mercedes AMG and another was a Range Rover. I just gotta have a range.
And so what color? What color is the AMG?
Black.
Okay.
Black.
Black on the outside and black interior?
Matte black, yeah. Black on black, yeah.
Okay, and what about the Range?
Everything all black.
Okay.
Everything black, yeah.
Okay.
And then,
All right.
yeah.
I encourage you to take pictures of those and put them on your vision board.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, because I used to like put them on my phone screensaver. It didn't really do much for me. I'm like, it's there, but
No, make a board. Make a physical board.
vision board.
Yeah, make a physical board, okay? And you already went into these cars, or one of them, so you know what it feels like to smell the leather, to sit in it, to put your hands behind the driving wheel. That's what you have to visualize, okay? And feel that you've already done it, and know that it's an accomplishment from your hard work. Because anyone could go out and lease one of these cars or rent them for show, but they don't have a pot to piss in. You know what I'm saying?
Afford it, yeah. You already know
like there's no point in driving that car if you're like, your bank account is like less than zero and you have a bunch of credit card debt. That's like a waste. When you're when Cam is sitting in that car, Cam is going to feel accomplished because that means that you've gone to a certain financial threshold that you can easily afford it. And now
I'll be making 3 times the payment. I would be making more than 3 times of the payment, so I know I would be able to afford it.
Hell yeah.
Cash flow.
Yes, brother, okay? Have your assets play for your toys. Have your assets play for your toys. So now we know what it is. We're putting that in the air. You're going to put it on your vision board, and we're going to end up doing an update with you talking from one of those vehicles, bro. Okay?
All right.
I'm excited about that.
That'd be nice. Yeah, I would love that.
Yes, I love the update. I love the update. So for those of you that made it to the end, I really hope that we gave you a lot of nuggets as far as being resilient, as far as motivating yourself, continuing to go when you feel like maybe it's not working, because Cam mentioned that so many times. He's like, if you're not getting result, keep going. Okay? Rome wasn't built in a day. So with that said, guys, peace out. Okay? Get inspired. Take action. No one could do the work but you. No one did the work for him, okay? No one did the work for me. You have to do it for yourself, okay? And until you realize that and step out of victim mode and step out of employee mode, you're going to be where you are in 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year, 20 years from now. But if you're watching this channel, I'm pretty sure that you're probably motivated and you want to change your life. So I hope this message finds you well, guys. If you received this message, take it. It was meant for you. With that said, peace out.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Nice seeing you. Nice having you. Thanks.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. And thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for coming to my Instagram and, and sharing that. You literally made my day. When I do those lives, I'm driving, so I'm like, trying to read, but I can't. I'm like, did this man just tell me he just did 10K and he's gonna leave me hanging? He didn't say how he got it. Like, I was just like, what?
Like, let's go live right now.
Yes, right. But then I didn't know.
Like, you sit in the car, you finna go work out. We'll wait.
Yeah, and then plus we get to reach more people doing it like this than 35 people on my live, So thank you. I'm so proud of you, man. I'm excited for you, man, because you don't think you're a baby, but trust me, 25, you're a baby. I thought I was old when I was 25, bro, but trust me, I actually don't want to go back to 25 because I'm so much better now. I'm so much better now in more ways than one. But time goes by very fast. It's our biggest asset, man. Okay? So use it wisely, bro. And let's do an update from that AMG with the black on black. Okay, so peace out, guys. I'm not gonna keep you guys hanging anymore. Okay, I'm gonna say peace out. Assalamu alaikum. Take action. Know that your dreams are possible, and we'll see you on the flip side.